welcome to another video. And as usual, before I get started, go ahead and smash that like and subscribe if you're new to this content. And to my current subscribers, I appreciate you guys more now. Let's just get right to it. So Safemoon price is actually down roughly about 48%. And we're going to get into that in a minute in the deeper part of this video. So guys, stay until the very end. Bitcoin is at the $42,000 mark. And I want to talk about a few bullet points here that I need to go ahead and share with you guys because the bull run is about to approach. And a lot of people are not going to follow some of these principles. And a lot of you guys may get wrecked. You have to make sure that you have a strategy going in when buying crypto, especially if you're new to crypto in general. Crypto is extremely volatile. And for the people that actually have been in crypto a while, they can tell you that, but a lot of people supposedly just don't listen or they don't follow the rules that were set to them. Greed set in, and as a result, they lose a lot of their money. You must invest what you can afford to lose. Okay? Keep that in mind. That's the number one rule. Do not invest what you cannot afford to lose because things do happen. And this goes even in the stock market. A lot of people, they use the term you lose your shirt because the market tends to be sometimes manipulated. Crypto is not to the point where it's like the stock market. The volatility is extremely high. And as a result, a lot of people go into the mindset that when going into crypto, you can turn into a millionaire. The answer is yes, you can become a millionaire, but it's all about timing. And you have to make sure you get into a project that's actually rock solid with the deliverables and a solid core team that's actually going to be true to the core and actually deliver on what they say. Another key thing you need to do is make sure you diversify to mitigate the impact in case if anything was to happen. Diversify your portfolio. Continually try to do what is known as the 80-20 rule. 80% on the more safer, let's say crypto tokens, list them, Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, let's say right now XRP. You need to make sure that you are heavy on the more safer tokens, and then you have 20% can be on the tokens where you can go ahead and do those risks. So just in case that 20% actually start to go awry, you still have that 80% going. How much should you invest when you invest in crypto in the beginning? If you're going to be investing in something that's that you don't know about, but you want to try to make money, again, not financial, $30 should be your maximum. You want to be able to just get a position to see what it's doing. And then once you have your money into that investment, you would then be inclined to go ahead and learn as much you can know about that token, what they're doing, if they're coming with any products, because your money is now positioned with that community. You're going to now join Twitter Spaces. Get involved with what they're doing. Don't just put your money to something blindly because, again, that's how you can get risk. You can get wrecked. Another thing is that you have to have a strategy on how you're going to go ahead and approach this if you were to go and invest in that particular token. Raise your maximum. Again, not financial. My maximum would be a given amount. Let's say, for example, $300 in that particular token. You increase it by a month. Now, you need to have at least $300 in BNB or Ethereum or enough so you can go ahead and be on the Solana blockchain. So you can diversify that if you see anything come out on Solana, you can go ahead and take care of those. Another 300 you can put on Avalanche. Another 300 on BNB, another 300 on ETH. The popular blockchains where things happen, where you can go ahead and make money. And again, not financial. So 3 4 is 12. $1,200 would be your maximum that you should be able to put into, where you know that if you cannot afford that, you can reduce the amount. This is how I operate. When I got into crypto, SHIB was actually making money. I've seen people actually make a significant amount of return on their investment. They're doing well right now. And they had a game plan going in. They didn't go in and put an enormous amount of money because they knew as the bull run was actually approaching, they know at some point with FOMO, they were going to make money. And these are the principles that you must be able to stick by. And if you do deviate, there's a high chance that you can actually lose money. Be extremely conservative, especially in new tokens. If a new token come out, you look at the market cap. You want something preferably below the $50,000 market cap or lower, especially if it's a token that is going to be delivering something that's actually going to turn out to be really good. You have tokens right now, which I will list, that actually are doing very, very well. So you need to make sure, do your own research. Do your research. You can put maybe $10 in and do your research because a lot of people don't do their research until after they put their money in. Sometimes it's too late. So follow these principles. These are some of the advice I want to give you guys again: invest what you can afford to lose, diversify your portfolio, do an 80-20 rule where it's your strategy. And if you're going to go all in, and again, not financial, $300 in BNB, 300 on ETH, 300 on Avalanche, 300 on Solano. So in case if there's any type of movement, you can catch stuff in the DeFi space or as well as even on the centralized exchanges, and you can be right in there. These are the strategies that I have learned from 2021, because I have followed many other crypto tokens other than Safemoon. And yes, I've lost in the beginning, and I had to put together a solid plan, and those plans have been working for me. And that is the way in which how I do it. So hope you guys like what I'm saying, guys. Like, share, subscribe, because you need to be able to be educated going into this wild, wild west, because crypto is extremely manipulated. There's been issues where people actually have gotten rugged, and that term means that they will take all of the liquidity out and they will remove all the money, and you will lose all of your money as well. So you got to go with that mindset, and you will be fine. Because if you have a strategy with that mindset, you're not going to lose as much, but at the same time, you're going to become educated on how to approach crypto in general. So I just want to share that with you guys, because those are the key values that a lot of people are not following. And as a result, they go into a massive loss to depression and wonder what's happening. And it definitely will wreck you. Now, let's talk about Safemoon for a minute here. Why did the Safemoon price actually fall roughly about 48%? Now, it's out there. Safemoon actually has filed for Chapter 7. Why did they file for Chapter 7? It's because in Chapter 7 actually filed with dissolving, where you have to take that money and go ahead and pay your creditors. Now, I don't know who Safemoon owed, but if they went to Chapter 7, which is a more speedier type of bankruptcy, they probably have a few debts that need to be settled. Now, the next thing is that they went that route namely because they couldn't pay the developers, the very people that actually help roll out the projects, stuff for the blockchain, features they're going to be adding most likely with the Safemoon Orbital Shield, key functionality in the Safemoon wallet, and last but not least, the development and launching of the centralized exchange. Now, if you don't have your developers backing you and they cannot be paid, unfortunately, they're going to walk up the job. There's a lot of brain power that's actually happening there to go ahead and make sure they roll out an excellent product, but if they're not being compensated, without a doubt, that's going to happen. Now, Safemoon did go ahead and send, when we've seen online, they sent information to contractors and full-time employees that due to the situation that they most likely couldn't make payroll, they're going to go ahead and file for Chapter 7. And they put that out as an internal document to the team so that they can be abreast, and they will terminate effective immediately. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean for Safemoon? We're going to get into that in a minute. Is that puts Safemoon in a little bit of in a limbo, without a doubt. Whenever you file for bankruptcy, it puts you in a limbo where if you don't have development happening, you don't have growth of the company, technological growth. Innovation is critical to a technological company. And if you don't have that, you're going to remain constant. And technology will pass you by as you sit on that product. Every year, months, days, or whatever go by, you become a little more dormant, and you start the company to innovation technology start to fall back. So these are the things that actually caused the company to go ahead and file for Chapter 7, and it caused a ripple effect. As you can imagine, the price plummeted 48%. And I did a video leading up to this, and what happened is that we saw a $400,000, roughly approximately $400,000 purchase of Safemoon on the open market. Now, after that, there was another contract address where that address is actually continually buying between $2,500 to $7,200 every, let's say, 43 minutes. You know, and I did do a video about a potential buyer. But I started to think about it from a programmable standpoint that, okay, $400,000 was purchased, and I kept an eye on that particular contract address. In addition, every 43 minutes, there was this continual purchase of $7,200 or $2,500. And I started to come to realization that, wait a minute, this may not be an investor. This may have happened. Now, this can be very, very speculation here by me, and only my opinion, is that if the Safemoon situation did not happen with John Karuni. For those of you that follow Safemoon, John did mention winter is coming. And my speculation is that in the contract code, he most likely on a particular date that contract was going to execute and pull and do an on the market buy of Safemoon for roughly $300 and something thousand. All right, that would alone go ahead and create excitement that somebody went ahead and purchased. All right, Safemoon 400,000. All right, remember winter is coming. The exchange is coming. So with somebody buying $400,000 worth of Safemoon, and then there was another execution of $2,500 to $72,200 every 43 minutes. Now, these are extremely big buys compared to what we said. There were buys in essence of $10,000 consecutively for a long period of time, 24, 48 hours. Now, this was not by design that this situation is going to happen with John Karuni, that the price that he was going to be incarcerated on roughly, let's say, October 31st leading to November 1st when the news break, that these things would happen. It was with the intent that the price was already at, say, 30224, 236, that $400,000, roughly $400,000 purchase was going to cost momentum. People are going to look at it as excitement. Then the $10,000 going to kick in, and then the $2,500 and the $7,200 going to kick in. I classify them as bots. So these were contracts created and bots going ahead and constantly buying from a liquidity that was preserved for this particular event that was happening for the centralized exchange that would most likely be happening around close to winter, December 21st. And I think this was by design to create the excitement. So with that momentum happening, with all those purchases and the continual bot, then they want to go ahead and launch the exchange. And then that was going to create even more excitement. And I think that's what would have happened, is that they were going to go ahead and actually eat 2 or 3 zeros. Now, given the fact that it didn't work out as planned, okay? It didn't work out as planned, it imploded. And as a result, it went in the direction that nobody wanted to happen, and a lot of people lost money. And this is the situation that's now happening with Safemoon, is that, yes, there's talks that they may get an appointed CEO. Nobody knows who that person is and the direction of the company. But now you have a bankruptcy attorney actually overseeing the situation. Now, where does Safemoon go from here? All right. Now, bankruptcy does not mean the end of the world. Now, a lot of people hear bankruptcy, and, I am not an attorney, but there's chapter 7, chapter 13, and there's chapter 11. I think the 11 and 13 talks about roughly reorganization, where you pay your creditors and all those different things. Now, I could be wrong. And chapter 7 talks about completely wiping the company out. Now, can Safemoon get a new start? And how would that new start happen? Is there a buyer out there that would want to buy Safemoon? Now, they can market Safemoon and say, hey, we have a centralized exchange we want to launch. We have a blockchain we want to launch. We still have the team. If you have the money, you can go ahead and hire those people. The person might say, hey, I don't like the name Safemoon anymore. I would want to go ahead and use another name. These things can happen. This happened in corporate America and all of that. Now, is Safemoon in a situation where should you buy Safemoon right now? What will I do? Okay, for those of you, you guys do know I'm a Safemoon holder. Whatever I invest is what I can afford to lose. Zero impact. Now, those of you that want to buy Safemoon, I want to stress caution here. Now, if you guys understand what FTX, they have a bankruptcy team in there to go ahead and rectify the situation. FTX will most likely be rebranded and relaunched under a completely different name. Now, with the process of them going ahead and do the reorganization, right before then, the FTX price fell to 87 cents. Compared to, I think it was over $22, over $122 at the all-time high, where it was before it fell. Okay? When they put in the bankruptcy attorneys and all of that, the price went from 87 cents to roughly about $4. Now, does that mean there's hope for Safemoon? I don't know. All I'm telling you guys is that if you're going to be investing in Safemoon, invest wisely. I've decided to pause, okay? But if the price goes down any lower, hey, wouldn't hurt me to throw $30 in. And $30 actually will probably get me a lot. Now, unfortunately, Safemoon has now fallen to more of in my 20% range rather than the 80-20. Because it's now in that 20% where it's considered a risk, because given the situation, until things rectify itself, where number one, if they go ahead and become acquired by somebody else, I still have a bag there. That bag is not going to be sold. It's there. It was an investment. We'll see what it does. And if it goes lower, now means that if they were to be acquired, because you can recover from bankruptcy. If those of you that don't know, you definitely can acquire. But I'm not going to be putting any investment right now. And my best advice to you guys is to hold off. There's too much things going on in the bull run that you can make money. And I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, what are the lessons learned here for the people that are actually buying Safemoon? Okay, what are you doing now? A lot of people are selling. There's still people buying. Your money is your money. Nobody should tell you how to invest your money. And I am not here to tell you what to do with your money, because nobody can tell me what to do with my money. I want to invest otherwise. Okay, what's the lesson you learn here? You get an education lesson in investing. It's not investing 101. It's the 4 or 5 bullet points that I mentioned in the early part of this video. Is that I'm pretty sure that the next investment the Safemoon holders are going to invest in, given the fact that you're in an investment for such a long time, from 2021. All right, some of you guys were here since the inception of Safemoon, right up to last 24, 48, or 72 hours. Any new investment most of them Safemoon community will most likely get into, they're going to be extremely cautious. They're going to apply these principles that I actually talked about, because they want to make sure they don't lose money. Some people actually are so down on their investment, they are completely done with crypto. They don't want to touch it anymore. And I totally get it, because, some people did lose a lot of money. And that's why crypto is extremely volatile. And we're going to see how the case is actually going to turn out. Who's guilty, who's innocent, what's going to be the verdict, who's going to go to jail, if Nagy's going to be caught, is Thomas going to go to jail, is John Crooney going to go to jail, or is John Crooney going to walk? We're going to get the whole pane of glass when the results come out. And the court information is going to be there. It's going to be available publicly. If you can pay the funds, you can be able to see that as well as for those you can actually get that information freely. So this is what I want to share with you guys. Like, share, subscribe, because there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to investing. But all I want to stress is that, again, be very, very careful, given the fact that Safemoon is actually going through a bankruptcy. If they do a liquidation of assets, there's number one here, the things that can most likely happen. If you have the Safemoon wallet, the security of the Safemoon wallet would probably be at risk, because there's nobody from a technological standpoint that's managing the infrastructure. There's nobody there. If the server was to experience some issues or needs to be patched for vulnerabilities for whatever platform is on, and they're not getting these patches, things can happen. There's nobody there to see if somebody's trying to compromise the environment, like try to see if they can break Orbital Shield, or try to go ahead and do things with the contract, because there's nobody there to actually go ahead and blacklist certain contract address. So be very, very careful right now. There's no technical person managing that infrastructure. Bridges, as somebody, the people that manage the Discord for Safemoon, they put in their information that there's, again, nobody managing the environment. Bridges may be at even more of a risk, so be very, very careful. Another thing is you need to back up your seed phrase, your Safemoon wallet. There's nobody managing the Safemoon wallet, because let's say, for example, the Orbital Shield server was to go down, okay? There's no redundancy in place where it would fail over to another Orbital Shield server. We don't know that for a fact, but let's just say, for example, Safemoon is not paying the bill to host the servers at a data center. What are they going to do? They're going to pull the plug on those servers. Every data center, you have to pay a rental cost. And I am sure Safemoon have their stuff operating in the cloud. So they are paying a subscription to run their technology. Again, if you don't pay, it will be deleted, okay? There will be potentially a chance that if you have funds on the Safemoon wallet, that you may not be able to move your funds. So be really, really leery of all these things, guys, that I'm sharing with you guys. Spread the word out, because it's a risk right now that you can be taking, so you need to safeguard your money. And for those of you that are investing, be very, very careful of what you're doing. So Safemoon has now moved to my 20% risk, because as an investor, I'm going to be very, very smart with my money, and whatever's in there stays in there, and I will see where it goes from there. So so somebody asked me, so given the fact that all these things are doing, like the fact that you make money every now and then with crypto, what are you invested in? I know you invested, you talk about your top 10, but what are the tokens you consider to be your top 5? Remember, guys, what I mentioned earlier, my $300 I invest in BNB, Ethereum, let's say now Avalanche and Solana. I took advantage of the bunk. I had $300. I put it in a bunk. I am actually really, really up. I didn't really publicize it because I don't want to go ahead and shield bunk to the Safemoon community, given the fact that I talk mostly about Safemoon. My $300 also is spread across. I have a lot of money actually in Solana. I have a lot going on with Avalanche. So, and the reason why I mess with bunk because it's on the Solana blockchain. And you guys know I do have a heavy stake when it comes to Ethereum and XRP. So these are the things that I'm invested in that I'm going to carry with me. Even though I have my top 10 in the last video, these are the things that are going to make me money. And this is not a shield to let you guys to go ahead and buy it. But those are the tokens that I'm invested in right now. These are my top 5. I have my 10, but these are my top 5 because Bonk is actually really, really growing. One last thing. Do not chase green candles. All right? Add that to your strategy because if you chase green candles, if you see you got in late, put in a very small amount. Because what's going to happen is that there will be a massive retracement. And when that retracement happens, then you can double down. But have a maximum you're going to put into your investment so that you don't get wrecked. So I hope you guys enjoy what I'm saying here. Like, share, subscribe. And, just hold out there. Bankruptcy is not the end of the world. The company could get acquired. But for right now, be careful. And until I see you guys again, you guys have a wonderful day and peace.